Day 1 of stretching until I can do the splits. Let's go. So I've started out with some sciatic nerve stretches. These just get me going. They're the first thing I do in my routine every day. And sorry for the old footage, I just didn't have time to shoot this. So I start off my routine with a little peacock pose. This just helps train your pelvis, which you're going to need if you want to do the splits. It's an easy one to start with, and I've mixed some straight arm and some gentle movement just to add a little bit of core stability and balance into things. I do this pose for about a minute on each leg until I start the next part of my routine. All right, next up, I get into a modified peacock pose. Basically the same idea as before. You want to get your pelvis as low into the ground as possible, although this one I pull on my back foot, which gets my hamstring activated as well. Next, you're going to see me get into a puppy pose. This one is actually fairly simple, fairly easy, fairly relaxing. So just bend forward and get your pelvis activated. It's fairly simple. I need to work on my dynamicness. You can see me kind of struggle. It's kind of stiff. But once I get into the position, I can feel the stretch occurring. So definitely something I want to work on. I want to get more involved in active stretching. But for now, it's okay. Then I get into a modified puppy pose. This is the same idea as the last pose. The only difference with this one, I don't know if you can notice, the knees are a bit more separated. So it adds the ability for more compression. This is a forward fold, which I'm a natural backbender, so I definitely have difficulty with getting that compression, but we all got to start somewhere, and it definitely accomplishes the same mission of flexing that pelvis and getting it trained so I can hopefully get into a splits position by the end of the video. Okay, so for the next part of my routine, I get into a half split, hold that for about 60 seconds, just with some gentle movement. Sometimes I'll go rock, a little bit of gentle rocking forward and backwards, just to add in some pelvic tilt practice while I'm doing this, some stability. Like I said before, very easy stretch, and if you can't get a half split, you won't be able to get a full split. So that's where my mindset is with that. Moving on, next up, I get into another half split, although this time is modified, where I'm bending forward. Do you know, until today, I had no idea if this was doing anything. I felt a bit of stretch in my glutes, but I kind of didn't know what I was doing. But this morning, I found someone suggesting this stretch. So it is not useless. You can feel it in your glutes. And you know, you really do need that glute stretch if you're going to do the splits. And you know what? I'm not quite sure on this, but are you supposed to be aiming for compression in this pose or not? I mean, your leg is in the way. I know I can feel it in my glute either way, but do let me know in the comments if you're familiar with stretching and you know anything about that, because this is always still a journey for me. So let me know. Right on, getting into some tougher ones now. So pike pose. You will see me attempt this. I am not great at forward folds. I am a backbender. However, I do believe that flexibility in both directions is important. So you'll see me get some chest compression here. And as I'll probably put this in quicker motion, but I get more compressed as the stretch goes along. So I hold this for 60 seconds, kind of just as long as I can, really. And it really helps train that hamstring flexibility and pelvic flexibility as well. And you get some core strength as a bonus. So why not, right? So I would have done more warm-ups, but my camera started running out of battery. So I decided to just go for it. I pulled out the yoga blocks. I tried to get in my full split. I ditched the blocks as soon as I could, trying to keep that knee facing forward, that back knee. I ditched the yoga blocks, put my arms up into the air, and I actually get a bit of decent rotation here. Like I get pretty close to the ground. Not too bad, actually. Like considering how long I've been doing this, I really don't think it'll be that long before I get it, you know. And so I was actually fairly proud of this. Quite decent, honestly. Mix in a back bend at the end. I find that can be really helpful to just get that extra inch or two closer to the ground. Very close. I was actually pretty happy with how this turned out. You can see the look of satisfaction on my face. Yeah, come a long way. Like, not too bad, really. Like, not all the way there, but like, honestly, not bad. The other leg, however, was a different story. It was a bit more stiff with this leg. I think I've always kind of had more issues with this leg. You can see me use the yoga blocks to start out. Bit of knee pain, bit of stiffness, but I still get fairly close to the ground, not too close, but not as good as the other leg, but not too bad either. Just gives you an alternate angle so you can see how close I am getting. I definitely did get closer with my other leg, but was having a bit of stiffness and I didn't want to overstretch or go too hard. So yeah, work in progress, definitely, but it'll get there. Okay, so next up, you're going to see me try for middle splits. I love this drill. I forget what yoga person, I think it was the flexibility guy, showed me this drill. This is an awesome drill. You can really see how far of a middle split you can get with just some yoga blocks and feet placement. It makes a huge difference. Do you know, when I started this, I could hardly get any separation between my two legs. And now I've been doing this, working this in almost every day, and I can get them pretty far. I think that if I continue doing this, I may end up getting a full middle split. The only problem is that it's not great on my knees, but still, I've been having a lot of fun doing this one. It's been a lot of fun to practice, and I think it'll get there someday. I'm getting really close. I'm really proud of the progress I've made on this stretch. So lastly, you're going to see me attempt pancake. This is a major, major work in progress for me. Like I said, not a forward bender, not natural for me whatsoever. I don't have a ton of core strength, but I really try to get that compression. As the stretch goes, I get a bit further. The battery ended up dying, but yeah, definitely a work in progress, but you gotta try. Everyone's gotta start somewhere. So yeah, that's what my pancake fold looks like so far. And that completes my routine. So let me know in the comments, how long do you think it's gonna take me to get full splits? How long do you think it'll take me to get pancakes? And if you have any tips and tricks, suggestions, maybe some more active stretches, I feel like I'm doing too many static ones, let me know in the comments. I am not averse to constructive criticism and feedback. Even if it's just like telling me, you know, my foot position or my spine position is wrong or something, let me know. I really appreciate your comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for encouraging me to continue flexing and bending. Have a wonderful day.